Hey Daniel, hope you're having a good weekend so far. Let's take a look at this. What I really like to do is take the first step for me, I take this huge kind of divisor line and I rewrite this whole mess. So what I do is I kind of think of this as like big brackets around the numerator, like we're going to work that separately. And then I just make a divide sign and I put H here. And then basically I'm just doing this to be fancy, but you know what I mean? We can eliminate that third, fraction of a fraction of a fraction mess, and we could just work on it like this. And to me, in my mind's eye, this seems a lot better. This seems a lot more reasonable. We can break this down here. If you're looking in the textbook or you're looking at like MyMathLab help me solve this view an example, they'll actually try to tackle all three fractions at once, which can be a bit much in my opinion. So now what we're going to do, let's just start working this fraction out. We're going to have to get some common denominators here. The LCD between these two is going to be, I'll write it in rainbow. Why not? It's going to be x squared times x plus h squared, right? These are two different terms, so we're just going to multiply them together, and then we're going to make our equivalent fraction. So I'll do that down here. We still have divide by h. We'll work that later. This is going to be x plus h squared. Actually, let me write it this way. I'll write the proper way. X squared times x plus h squared, same as right here. Okay, and now let's basically just, because I multiplied these denominators, I can just cross these down and create my equivalent numerators. So 4 times x squared is just going to be 4x squared, right? I'll see what's happening. I just multiply these two and it goes down. And then we'll do the same with this one right here, and that will go down as well. So this is going to be 4 times x plus h quantity squared. All right? So that's pretty cool. So far we have common denominators now. That means we can go ahead and combine the numerators. Remember, when we're dealing with this stuff, we don't really mess with the denominator, so I can just write that once. Part out of laziness, but part because I don't have to. We have 4x squared, and I'm going to subtract that now. I'm going to take this negative 4 and distribute, but before I do that, before I multiply, I have to deal with this exponent here. So let me just work this over here. I have x plus h. So nice, I got to write it twice, right? We're squaring a binomial, so that means I have to write it twice and FOIL it out. Our first is going to be x squared. Our outside is going to be xh, so plus xh. Our inside is going to be plus xh, and our last is going to be plus h squared. Combining those two like terms in the middle, I'm going to get plus 2xh plus h squared. Okay, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply all that by that negative 4, which is over here. So I'll go ahead and do that. Might as well do it while I'm over here. Negative 4x squared plus, actually that's going to be a minus 8xh minus 4h squared. And I can write all that in right there. 4x squared minus 8xh minus 4h squared. All of this is still divided by h, and now I'm just going to erase all my kind of chicken scratches over here. Just bear with me, please. Okay, so now what can we do? Well, we have some like terms here that we can get rid of in this case. 4x squared minus 4. That's nice. We could also go ahead, you can do this at any point. I'm saving it till right now, but really I can erase this, and instead of saying divide by h, I could multiply that by the inverse, right? Which is 1 over h. So what I want to see up here is I want to get an h out of here, and I can't just wipe off an h right now. I have to factor that out. So I'm going to factor it out in h. Let's just pull the h out because I have an h common to both terms, so I'm going to do that. And then remember, what we do is we kind of mentally divide each term by h in rainbow pen if you're awesome, and we just write the result right in the brackets. So this will be negative 8x, and this will be negative 4h, right? Because this is going to cancel that exponent. So let me just clean this up a little bit. I'm running out of room. All right. So what I have here is I now have an h that's factored out. Okay, we'll get rid of the rainbow pen. We're getting carried away with that. But now what I can do is I can basically just cancel these h's here and here. And remember, this is all factored now. This is all multiplying, so I can cancel or divide anything at all. Keep in mind that I didn't factor out, like I could have pulled out a -4 here as well. That's cool, but there's nothing really that's going to cancel with. So now we can just kind of clean this up a little bit. In the numerator, I have -8x minus 4h times 1, which is just -8x minus 4h. No need to really factor that over our denominator, right? X squared over x plus h quantity squared. So that should be it. Kind of reduce this. Again, if we could pull out like an x plus h or something like that, that would be cool, but I don't think that's really going to happen here per se. Maybe I'm missing something. Maybe not. I mean, again, we could pull out the... Let's do it. Let's just play. Let's play while I have you here watching this video. Let's factor out a -4 from this mess. If I did that, and again, rainbow pen time, we'll divide each by -4. Okay, so this is going to be positive, because two negatives divide. This will be a 2x. And this will be a plus, the 4 is gone, plus h. So see, I'm never really going to get rid of this 2, right? I can't mess with this x plus h here. So this is not going to reduce at all. I was just trying something here. And this goes for any fraction, by the way. If you get an answer and you're not sure if it's in lowest terms or not, just go ahead and see if you can factor anything out and cancel it and go from there. It'll tell you right away. So let me erase my rainbow marks, but you get the idea right there, I hope. Make sure as well to do our exclusions as we go back through. Remember, we have to go back through the whole deal here. So x can't be what? Well, it can't be 0, because here if x was 0, 0 squared is 0. That's not good. We don't want anything like that. Over here we have x plus h squared. Well, that whole thing can't equal to 0, so we could do a little math on that. We could say like x plus h squared cannot equal 0, and we could work that out, you know, take the square root of both sides here. That gives us x plus h cannot equal 0, because the square root of 0 is 0. And then basically, you know, we could do anything like this. We could take -x away from both sides, so we could say that h can't be -x, although that's a little bit fancy for this course. Just make sure you're looking at all that stuff right there, okay? So h can't be 0 either. H could be 0 here, but x can't be 0 either. So they're mutually exclusive. Make sure you put all that in. Anyways, I hope that helps, Daniel. Hope you're enjoying your weekend. Let me know if you need more help.